going on, guys? Auckland here, back with another video, and here to give you all some very exciting news on New York music. We got to talk about it. So it has just been announced that both 50 Cent and Nas, two of course legends in New York music, are coming out with albums. I don't know when. I'm assuming this year because they mentioned it this year, but yeah, so they're coming out with albums. And 50 Cent in particular, this is a bit of a shocking, thing to happen because 50 Cent has not done an album in a while. And apparently both are having sort of specific producers surrounding the production. For Nas, of course, this is going to be King's Disease 4. And for 50 Cent, this is going to be a collaboration with Dr. Dre. So this is going to be pretty interesting. One thing I've kind of noticed so far, one thing I've noticed is that I've seen a lot of rapper and like producer collabs, whether you see, Dusty Locane and what he was doing, or the Mickey Facts album that I'm trying to get to reviewing, y'all. It's very difficult, very dense, but I'm trying to get through it. There's been a lot of these different collab albums with different hip hop titans in the game. And so I find it interesting that both of these are going to have designated producers that are really at this point, really, of course, Dre has already cemented himself, but even Hit Boy is sort of cementing himself as a super producer of our generation. And I just wanted to get on here and tell you all some of the things I'm hoping for, some of the things I'm looking for, some of the things I'm not looking forward to on these albums. So first of all, the other thing when it comes to the news is that they will be collaborating, right? They announced the news together, but they also announced that they do have a collaborative song, and I'm excited for that. I would love to see a 50 Cent chorus. Those always go crazy. Nas on some verses. Whatever they decide to do, I'm just very excited to see people who have done so much and have seen so much in their life, what they have to say. Now, in terms of my own personal opinion prior to this, I have never listened to like a 50 Cent album straight through. I've heard like decent chunks of certain albums, mainly his 3-album run. But I haven't heard any 50 Cent album like straight through. And I certainly don't remember as much as I would like to. I may listen to Get Rich or Die Trying on the channel a little bit later this week, but I digress. I'm not the biggest fan of 50 Cent, to be 100% honest with you. I think he's a great rapper and a great storyteller and has some of the best choruses of all time, but his content was always a bit too like sexual for me, and like in a really weird way. And also, I was never the biggest fan of Dr. Dre production. And so while he has a few fire beats like Pimp and In the Club.
To be clear, I think a lot of my sort of distaste for Dr. Dre's production really comes from being introduced by Eminem and just never really being a big fan of Eminem beats.
And so, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I 100%, I think 50 Cent is a great artist, but personally, I've never really been, looking back at a lot of his music, especially some of his hits, I never really got into him like that. But I am looking forward to this record because this is kind of a record that I'm going to be able to experience for myself. A lot of times, you know what I mean? I may not like a certain artist, but being able to experience a certain record as it comes out for them, it may change my mind. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And in terms of Nas, y'all know where I put King Disease 3. This whole trilogy has been insane. I'm a pretty big fan of Nas overall, or I should say that I have a lot of respect for Nas's music and genuinely would put him very high in any all-time list, let alone New York all-time list. I think that he has a lot of great qualities and has done so much for New York hip-hop. And in these recent, like I said, this 4-album trilogy, I've gotten a lot of replay value, to be honest. A lot of people like to say that, the old heads back in the day, they didn't, what I'm saying? There's nothing for us new guys to really gain replay value-wise from what they had to offer. But, and definitely in terms of Nas and this new recent 3-album run, there's a lot of songs I'm still listening to. Michael and Quincy, Spicy from King Disease 1, Nobody from King Disease 2, EPMD from King Disease 2. So I'm definitely really a big fan of Nas and what he has to offer. In terms of what I'm hoping for this King Disease 3, I'm just hoping for something different, man. I feel like there's been a different feel to every single King Disease so far, whether it be the emphasis on Nas carrying out the on track list and really bringing a message to it on King Disease 3, or sort of his feature laden album on King Disease 1, where he was embracing a lot of newer school artists and sort of seeing how his flows and lyrics stack up, which was super, super interesting to see those stylistical clashes. I feel like each King Disease has a different feel, and I'm wondering what this one will be. I'm hoping, I would love to see like a concept record, you know what I mean, something like that. Maybe something that was that's a little bit better sorted, maybe a story throughout, something like that. I don't know. I'm hoping for, but I don't want, you know what I'm saying, when we get these series and it just goes over and on and on and on and on. Stuff can get really monotonous, and I don't want. I wouldn't want that, right? I wouldn't want Nas to sort of just become monotonous in the way that he goes about stuff. In terms of 50 Cent, I'm interested to see what he has to say in his lyrical content. Honestly, he's always struck me as a lyrical rapper, but never really much as a substantive rapper, especially early on in his career. And so now that he's lived a lot longer and he's had time to grow, of course, he was on the show Power and sort of has sort of gained mainstream success in a different avenue. I'm very curious to see what his views are and what he has to say about life and rap in the world. I'm very interested to see what he has to say, and I'm expecting some quality choruses. Like I said, I'm not the craziest about 50 Cent, but I cannot lie and say that I think that he probably has the best choruses in New York history. I gotta look into it a little bit more because Lauryn Hill might be up there as well. But in terms of New York artists, 50 Cent might have the greatest. Pop Smoke is up there too. Of course, A Boogie is up there too. But 50 Cent might have some of the greatest choruses of all time. And so I'm definitely looking forward to some bangers. But I'm also looking forward to some depth from 50 Cent on this album. And so, yeah, in terms of production, you can't go wrong with either of them. I will be honest about, what I think. I won't lie. But I think that both of these records have the potential to have high critical claim if these artists really work hard, perform, buckle down, and do what they need to do to make a great album. I could definitely see it. I hope that they don't rest on their laurels and kind of, assume things about their album, the reception of their album based off of name recognition. And I'm looking forward to see what they offer. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what y'all are hoping for from this new 50 Cent and Nas record. And what do you think is going to happen with this collaboration, man? Because this is going to be kind of interesting. All right. Peace, y'all.